Okay, I'm going to do another video today on socialism. And this video is going to be on how socialism is not a dictatorship. Almost every critic of socialism will automatically say socialism is a dictatorship. Socialism is a dictatorship. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. Socialism has never been a dictatorship. Not ever. Not even in the early days. Socialism in the early days was never a dictatorship. And socialism today, what I call modern socialism, and I've told you that modern socialism is even different than it was early on, modern socialism is not, definitely not, a dictatorship. So let me first explain this. A dictatorship is a dictatorship. Okay? Socialism can be a dictatorship, but socialism most often is not a dictatorship. Okay? A dictatorship is a dictatorship. And a dictatorship is basically a government which is run by a single group of people without any input from those people. In other words, in a dictatorship, the people have very little control over their own lives. It's somebody else at top who makes all the decisions for them. Okay? Now that can come from any form. We can have a vegetarian dictatorship, right? We can have vegetarians control everything in our society. And not just food, but everything. Then vegetarianism becomes a dictatorship. We could have a carpenter dictatorship, where carpenters take control of everything and don't let anybody else have a say. Then it's a carpenter dictatorship. We can have piano manufacturers. The piano manufacturers union get together. They take control of the nation. They impose their beliefs on everything from economics to religion to business to what kind of light bulbs you can use. Oh, and that becomes everything decided by the piano makers union. That would be a piano makers union dictatorship. So again, anything can be a dictatorship. Any one group can impose themselves as a dictatorship. But that doesn't necessarily inherently make them a dictatorship. Carpenters are not inherently a dictatorship. Piano makers are not inherently a dictatorship. Vegetarians are not inherently a dictatorship. Now, they take control of everything. Like I said, all government, all economics, all religion, all universities, and don't have any form of democracy and voting. Then you have a piano maker dictatorship. Okay? So my point is that socialism in and of itself is not a dictatorship. It's only those people who believe in socialism but also want their own power, their own personal power over everybody else. And in fact, a dictatorship is actually the opposite of socialism. Because socialism is for the people. Socialism is a government which serves the people. A dictatorship, by its inherent nature, does not serve the people. Okay? I mean, it can, in the centuries ago, there was benevolent dictators, good kings, good emperors. And they were always supposed to do the best that they can. And in Plato's philosopher king, a dictator, a king, but who was a wise king, good king who tried to rule with his counsel on behalf of the people. But in general terms, no. It's always best for the people to rule. And socialism is a system where the people, we give to the government gives back to us. Okay? Yeah. So you can have a socialist kingdom, and you can't have a socialist dictatorship, but only if that dictatorship is truly, giving things back to the people. A socialist dictatorship would be where the dictator is not there for himself, but takes the taxes, takes state control of certain things, but he operates those things for the good of the people. He has the best interest at heart. And all the taxes collected are not given to him and his politicians, but, back into service for the people. That would be a true socialist democracy. Okay? Okay. But primarily, socialism, socialist dictatorship. Primarily, socialism is not a dictatorship. Socialism inherently is not a dictatorship. Those are two different concepts. You can have socialism with a dictatorship, socialism without a dictatorship. Vegetarianism with a dictatorship, vegetarianism is not a dictatorship. Okay, so again, what is a dictatorship? A dictatorship is where one small group of people controls everything in society. And see, they not only control it, but they don't let any of the citizens have a say in their own lives. Okay? And in fact, we actually have dictatorships today. We have dictatorships of corporations. They actually have more control many times than our government. We have dictatorships of the media and their propaganda. They cause division, they cause violence in the country, they cause corrupt people to be elected and good people to be thrown away. So it's a dictatorship of the media, dictatorship of universities. And now the social justice warriors are in fact a dictatorship. Wherever they exist, they try to impose their dictatorship upon other people. So those are all dictatorships. And those are dictatorships we have today. But if we got socialism, true socialism, modern socialism, then those dictatorships would go away. With true socialism, corporate dictatorship would disappear. University dictatorship would disappear. Social justice warrior dictatorship would disappear. Now, media would still be there for the most part, but in general, with true socialism, modern socialism, the dictatorships we have in our current life would disappear. The people will be more free. They'll have greater freedom, greater economic prosperity, greater happiness, greater self-government with true socialism. Okay? Socialism is not a dictatorship. Socialism is not a dictatorship. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And remember also that socialism, modern socialism, true socialism, will actually end all the dictatorships in our society. Because the people will get what they want and overthrow all the corrupt individuals. I think that about covers it.